What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gersh1
in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Always Forward always did. He asks, why can't the Imperium mass-produce blanks? The Sisters of Silence and Black Ships are all... and Sisters of Silence are all blanks. Couldn't the tech priests just compare all that blank DNA and find the gene, then start a mass gene therapy across the entire planet for trillions? Because even 1% of the population is a lot more troops to fight Chaos and Eldar and Dark Eldar. So yes, the blanks are basically weaponized. For all those that don't know what a blank is somebody who was born with a genetic
I guess mutation.
Yeah, mutation to not be affected by the warp, and for the warp to have no effect on them. So they essentially cancel out. Think of the Tyranids and their Shadow of the Warp. When a blank shows up, any psychic power kind of doesn't affect them. You could see that on the tabletop too. If you play a Sisters of Silence model, which is what the Sisters of Silence are, they're all just blanks. You have special buffs that actually cancel out the Deny the Witch thing and stuff like that. I think to the point where like no psyker within a certain amount of a Sister of Battle can't.
Can't manifest psychic powers. I want to say it's a 12-inch bubble, but I may be wrong.
Right. And the reason that you can't just go out and mass produce them is because in the lore it states that blanks are not. It's not good to be a blank. Right. And blanks themselves don't feel good. They're all their lives they feel an emptiness, and that emptiness is the lack of the warp presence. Psychic power within a human being is almost what gives it like emotional purpose in a way. It was implanted there probably by the old ones during the War in Heaven. And the reason humans have the psychic ability or the psychic mutation is because it's beneficial for its kind. If you remove that, they become like really depressed and really shitty people, and they make other people feel uneasy and bad. So imagine an entire population of just people who are depressed and emo. It's not going to work out.
Right. Almost like the Dark Eldar, but they found a way around it.
Yes. And then the other thing is the same reason that they don't mass produce these Sisters of Silence is the same reason they don't want to mass produce Psychers. They're very volatile. They as a Sister of Silence, they are honed in and they're trained to use their powers the right way. But just like any other Psyker, they can turn around and use it against the Imperium itself. Navigators wouldn't be able to function. If you can't use navigators, you can't do faster than light travel. The Astronomicon stops working. So psychic powers are used a lot. It's just a real world thing. Do you remember the movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I think it's called Looper. Yeah. And how like that whole story is that people start to develop telekinesis and they can float like coins on with their hands and stuff like that. Like even something as simple as that, if humans develop that, I don't think anybody would want to get rid of it. Because how awesome would it be just to like swipe up your keys just like by going like that?
It'll be accustomed to, like, it'll become a part of you that when it does get taken away from you, you're going to be depressed. Yeah, it's like taking a part of your personality away. It literally encompasses almost every aspect of your life. Kind of like the closest thing I can think to this is technology. We've been so used to having our phones that if we don't have our phones on us, we feel like anxious. Like, oh, I need it on me to feel complete. Similar to like warp powers and how nulls kind of affect that aspect.
Yes, a perfect analogy. It's exactly like that.
Because think of a null being no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shoot, what do I do?
And it sucks.
Yeah, you start getting antsy with your family, and you just got to go outside.
Start murdering people for no reason.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It is, yeah.
Good question.
Great question.
Next.
Always forward, always.
Yeah.
This one is a pretty interesting one. This one is by Gutter Snipe Pie. Have you seen Flash Gets' video, Furry Apocalypse? Is this an accurate representation of how Space Marines chapter would react?
I have not, no.
Yeah, I've seen it, but it was a while back, and I don't remember it. So, on to the next question.
Just recently I found the YouTube channel. I can't remember the guy's name, but it's basically the Sax Marine. It's a furry thing.
Yeah, furry apocalypse. Basically, Space Marines killing furries.
It's kind of funny that there's so many like comedic channels popping up now, or that have been around for a while, but now are gaining popularity. Like the Sax Marine. It's just a Space Marine on top of I think either a Rhino or a Land Raider
on a saxophone.
Yeah, just playing the saxophone. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but basically to answer your question, because as he was describing that, yes and no. Space Marines are ruthless in combat. They're methodical. I think the best representation of what a Space Marine would be the Astartes series. They're almost too efficient to a point where it's like almost robotic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next question comes from Digital Sigma. What unit do the Orcs, Eldar, Tau, Chaos, Necrons, and Tyranid possess that can stand toe-to-toe against an Emperor-class Titan in terms of size and firepower?
The Titans of their own.
Yeah, so Orcs have Stampas. Well, I think it's a level above a Stampa. I forget what it is. Basically, like 4 Stampas can fit into this Mega Stampa.
Like a Power Ranger Zord.
Yeah.
Voltron Stampa.
The Eldar also have a Titan equivalent. What is it called? If you check out Mini Wargaming, Mini Wargamer, which one's the one that paints?
I know what you're talking about. With the glasses, right?
With the glasses.
Yeah, long hair.
Yeah. He has, I think the Eldar.
It's Chris or something.
It might be Chris, yeah. He has the Eldar Titan thing in his office, and I think he's shown it in one of the open vaults. And then the Tau have that giant...
The Tau-Nar Supremacy suits. Before, it used to be the Mantas.
Yeah.
Because they were the Titan killers. They're just really ships with powerful weapons.
But in that case, it's really the firepower that thing puts out, and not so much the size, right? Because it's not the same size.
Yeah. Because whenever I was looking at what can take on Titan versus Titan battles, and then the Tau have ships. That's not the same. But yeah.
Which is funny because the Tau is supposed to be like
Gundam. Right? Yeah. And they got ships to fight Titans. Like, come on.
Chaos has the Emperor class corrupted Titan. Necrons have
they had those sea weapons platforms that destroy moons and stuff. But the Necrons, I feel like they're so powerful they don't really need a Titan because their weapons can just deatomize things.
Yeah.
But they do have the new Canoptic construct or whatever,
which is a menace. But it's more a menace towards infantry than it is like anything else.
Mm-hmm. It's a menace to society.
Yeah. And then the Tyranids have the what is it called? That giant spider thing.
I think it's like a bio something. I don't know.
A bio titan.
Yeah, bio titans.
It's like new ones again. I need to stop eating in this room. Next question.
How far? Oh, this one's by Star Fido Perur. How far did you guys get into the text-to-speech device series?
First episode.
I've seen bits and pieces from a few, but I still want to just binge the whole thing.
Yeah. Next question comes from Foo Foo Foo. Based on your looks alone, which Chaos God will you be serving?
Well, I'm fat now, so Nurgle?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell. I guess it depends on the color of shirt that I'm wearing, so blue, so Zinch.
But your pants are reddish.
Yep, so it might be Khorne. I think out of all the Chaos Gods, the most demonic looking one has to be Khorne. So if I didn't know anything about Warhammer 40K and somebody presented me the 4 Chaos Gods and it was like, which one do you think is the most badass looking? So just based on looks, Khorne. Because Khorne is just the stereotypical demonic god thing.
Mm-hmm. When you think of demons, bloodletters are pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. Next question. I have one from Hayden Northrup. Are Crimson Paladins still allowed on the tabletop in 40K? That's a 30K thing. I don't know if they have an equivalent for the new edition. Check the what is it called? Battle Scribe to see if they're on there.
Mm-hmm. This next one is by Benjamin Solis. Can anyone besides gods beat the Emperor in a one-on-one battle? And if the Emperor is a Chaos God, why are his demons so powerful like the Legion of the Damned? Alright, so it's a two-parter. One-on-one, who can take on the Emperor?
Well, I think a Primarch, a demon Primarch could, because that's kind of what happened with Horus. It was...
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't become a demon Primarch. He was just empowered by the Chaos Gods.
Which is like even more reason for him to, and I think it's like the whole sentimental thing. I think if the Emperor came back and was like, oh shit, if the Emperor came back and like Fulgrim was like just chilling, Fulgrim would have a chance.
Or are you saying like in 30K or nowadays?
No, nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In 30K, I don't think there was anybody that could.
Except Horus.
Well, it's implied that the Emperor could have killed Horus at any time, but his feelings got in the way.
Yeah, but I think that plays into it, right? When you're fighting somebody, if you're not mentally stable.
Yeah, it's part of the fight. Because, I mean, look at UFC. You try to psych the other person out.
Yeah, by kissing them.
Mm-hmm. It's like, whoa, I think I love you now. Do I really want to hurt you? Second half of your question, if the Emperor is considered a Chaos God, then why are his demons, aka the Legion of the Damned, appear to be so powerful? So, let's go hypothetical on this. Saying that the Emperor is a Chaos God and saying that the Legion of the Damned are indeed demons, they seem powerful because they can appear at multiple places at once, but at the same time, like, I don't know, like, I think it depends on the perspective, because oftentimes when you read about the Legion of the Damned, you're reading about them in, like, the Space Marine Codex, and obviously they're going to highlight all the crazy, awesome deeds that they've done. So I think that's why they seem so overpowered, just because you're reading it from the Imperium's perspective.
Yeah, that's true. And you don't really know, because they appear and then they disappear, so they could just essentially die. And
yeah.
do you...
But at the same time, that's how demons work.
Yeah, yeah. And then they just go back into the bodies of, or the essence of the Chaos God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's tough. Last question. I have one from Brian B. Has there been any hints of a loyalist Primarch returning? I think so.
I feel like there's always hints and like rumors and stuff going around, but until like we get like concrete like leaks, like, oh, this is the rumor of its sculpt, or like this is the next story that we're gonna get, then that kind of solidifies it. But for the longest time, I thought they were gonna release the Lion, and no.
Yeah, I think the closest thing right now to a hint from GW is the fact that they tried to play that Sanguinius isn't dead, that he's actually in stasis, and they did that for a while.
Yeah.
So that kind of like was a big red flag, like saying, okay, so you guys are setting it up to bring back Sanguinius at some point. Is he the next one to come out? Who knows? But it is like, I think that's the closest thing we've gotten.
Yeah. Who would you want to be the next one to come out?
I mean, I would like Rogaldorn just because he's my Primarch, but yeah, I'm up for whoever.
Yeah, I think at this point it's been a little too long since any loyalist Primarch has come out that I'm good with whatever.
I just hope GW uses the same guy who did the sculpts for the Horus Heresy models or the Primarch models, and not the one that did the Guilliman model. The Guilliman model does not look good compared to the Horus Heresy models. That's just my opinion. But then at the same time, like, the limbs are not proportionate. So, yeah. Those are the questions for today. Let us know in the comments section below what you guys think about everything we just talked about. We do this 4 days a week, so ask away. If we didn't answer your question today, we'll probably answer it soon. Keep asking.
That's right. If you guys like questions that you yourself didn't come up with, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we could go up closer to the list and we can see it.
Yes.
This is the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.